Welcome back to my podcast, The Progressive Mindset, a show and a place that's positive, offers inspiration and is full of energy. I'm your host, Natalie Potts, and today I'm going to be talking around, is coaching right for me? So I was having a good chat with somebody this week around coaching, and I think some people think that they need to know what coaching is and mentoring, and they don't want to feel silly, but many people don't. They don't understand what a coach is, and they really don't understand the impact that coaching can have. So I'm going to just spend this episode just talking through exactly what it is, a little bit about what it isn't, although I think from how I pitch it, you'll take that interpretation yourself in terms of what it isn't. So coaching is around unlocking a person's potential, and Tingleway always puts it that it is about maximizing their own performance, helping them learn rather than teaching them. And when I reframe this for a client and I talk about what coaching is, I say it's about moving you from A to B. And often we have a goal in mind, so that might be B, and we're at point A. And that's where we'll explore the reality of where we're at, what's going on for us. And then we start to talk about, what it is that's motivating us to get to that B, that compelling vision. And it's about moving there quicker. So I have my own coach because I've noticed a huge difference it makes in having somebody that holds me to account. And that's really, really key. And I've had a coach for the last 18 months. And we kind of talk at least twice a month. So really, really important for me in taking action, hold me to account to what I want to achieve within that month. Obviously, then that process to get me to be quicker. So I think it's important to also touch on what mentoring is, because people slightly get confused around what it is and whether they need coaching or mentoring. And I guess a lot of work I do can be bringing in a little bit of mentoring. I have to make it really, really clear to the client when I'm doing that and say, this is mentoring, especially if they ask me, what's your opinion, or what are your thoughts, or what should I do? It's not wrong, I don't think, as a coach to say what you think or give advice, but I really do think it's important, or I know that you have to give that clarity and say, absolutely fine to have that kind of discussion and talk through that in that way with you, but that's going to be mentoring, going to be sharing. And you have to be mindful, I'm not telling you that you have to do that. That's what's worked for me, is an experience that I've been in. So mentoring, Oprah kind of frames it that it's somebody seeing the hope inside themselves. And when I work with leaders in mentoring, so I currently lead a mentoring program in a corporate space, and I mentor 3 females and 1 male currently at the moment. And we spend time roughly once a month. I guess as well, what I'm doing is I'm trying out mentoring myself and really thinking about how can I change this? How does it work best? Do I need to change it differently for each person, depending on how they learn and what they get from it? So sometimes we'll do the odd kind of check-in every week or every 2 weeks. It really depends on what the client wants. It's exactly the same with coaching. I tend to do coaching in terms of blocks of bi-weekly, because it allows somebody to really focus on achieving and breaking down those actions and achieving them. Weekly does work. You've got to have somebody that's super disciplined and really driven, and maybe just focusing on that real one aspect in their life at that moment in time. Otherwise, sometimes it has the potential to overwhelm somebody, and that's not what it's about at all. So coaching is also around nurturing relationships. It's making sure that when you're working with a client, that you really have instant rapport, that you nurture a relationship and grow somebody in where they want to be, and empower them, inspire them to take action. So why coaching for me? I always wanted to give back and help others, and I experienced coaching at a very low level in terms of what it was, and it just sparked interest for me. And I liked how it made me feel, that tummy feeling that you get when you achieve something, that I've really moved someone off. You jump off of a call with somebody and you'd be jumping around the room and be like, yes, I've done it. I love it. I love it. Love it. And I always have that feeling. And I go a lot on that for myself. I've done lots of personality profiling, psychometric testing myself over the years, Myers-Briggs. I'm accredited to run DISC, so I do that with my clients. But I know I get a lot in terms of emotion and how I feel about something, and that will determine how I then actually take action. But I wanted to also inspire and educate and show others, especially in business, that business can be fun, and you'll go through moments, years, months, weeks, whatever. You go through all of these times where stuff is tough, and that's life. Life, as one of my mentors once said to me, it isn't fair. It isn't. And you have to make it what you want it to be. You have to create life you want. You have to make business fun. And I always put that as a kind of positioning or reframing for working with leaders in teams or working with businesses, in terms of, where does fun sit in your values? Where does it sit in your vision, your mission, wherever you want to put it? Where is it? Because if we are not doing it and having some fun with it, what is the point? We do not wake up every day to go to work. We wake up to live every day. We wake up to have the best lives we want and create the best lives we want. So I do a lot of this when I work in terms of the mentoring, and I share my experiences. And I guess one of the key things that's resonating through for me just thinking about this is, I love a quote, and I do. And it's not that, I've got them everywhere around me, but they inspire me. They make me focused and looking at what I want to achieve and the reason sometimes why I'm doing things. And if you're having a tough day, you need to know these anchors in your life of how you draw it in and almost get your shit together, if we want to say that French. So Winston Churchill said, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. And there's also a Steve Jobs quote around, everything you do over the next 24 hours, however he's put it, if this was your last 24 hours, would you want to do what you're about to do? And I remember seeing that on a post, and I'm a visual learner, and I see it all the time. And I'm like, would I? And if you can genuinely answer yes, superb. If it's no, what are you going to do to change that? What's not going great? What is going great? And what are you going to do? So going back to kind of mentoring and, understanding the benefit it can make, I guess it's about allowing people to feel that they are in a safe environment, they have a great relationship with the right person, and that they know that they can fail at things. And there's a real focus at the moment, what do you fear? I see this all the time. What do you fear of failure? And actually, the biggest fear is that we don't achieve some of these things. So if you haven't listened to my podcast, Embracing Fear, please listen to it, because I talk more around that in there. But it's taking people on a journey. And Benjamin Franklin once said, tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I will learn. And I remember having that up when I was in corporate space, really looking at kind of going on to a next role and working with a mentor at the time. And again, it was just a focus point for me. You're having a crap day, and I had that up on the wall, and I was like, that's why I do what I do. I need to really refocus again. I was working with business teams yesterday, and we were focusing on, actually it was a review of the month, and it gone really well the month. It'd been a tough month. Everyone knows about coronavirus at the moment that's hit us, and it's been challenging. As a team, there's been a major shift in emotional resilience and really looking at how we break things down, how they work as a team. There is immense respect and trust there in the team, which is absolutely crucial to have. And that's where you kind of build that at the start of those relationships and knowing how people work together. But I think there was a bit of a challenge that, what are you tolerating as well at the moment? What are you accepting that's unacceptable in yourself? And the real question I positioned at the start of the meeting was, please come to this open-minded, please come to this objective and not subjective. So I think I'm conscious, I've just said about, I really tap into the feelings of things. I think when you're dealing with sometimes the business, you need to also have an objective view to then know when you need to have subjective and when is important to allow that into business. So I think that's, these use of questions is what I'm drawing on here, is really powerful, and reframing things for people. And I think I was joking with someone the other day, that must be my word for the month. I just keep saying it, reframe it, reframe it, reframe it. But you do have to take that step back, and I want them to do that in their business. Take that step back and see it from different eyes, and then see the emotion within that, then see what the clients are feeling, what you're feeling, and then draw some conclusions of the two in order to look at how do we move forward. And all of this was then bringing us to kind of, how do you show up? How do you show up as a leader? All aspects of life, how do you help people? It is about, how do you show up in your family? How do you show up as a mum, a dad, a sister, a brother, a best friend? How do you show up as a parent to a child that's 1, a child that's 15? These journeys are going to be the ones that you'll discover and look at how you are. And this is where you will grow as well. And really thinking about what the impact is that you have. I think all of this, in essence, is around self-awareness. And that is a powerful part of coaching, is in heightening your self-awareness. And we don't always have all the answers. We think we do, we want to. Coaching is about focusing with somebody on drawing out the answers. I know sometimes I work with a client and I'll say, I don't know the answer to that. And it might be then I'll position it slightly differently, or ask a different question. But that's okay. And it's good to say, okay, look, take that away, look at that. Maybe that's something we can focus on in the future, or just spend a bit of time. Don't have this pressure. Just spend a bit of time looking at why you don't know the answer to that. But coaching is around asking those questions to draw out essentially those answers and create a safe environment for people to do that. So when I work with clients, it's really clear about being open, honest, and comfortable. So somebody asked me earlier in the week, how do you know that coaching's right? And I said, I think you have to determine that. You have to ask yourself those questions. You have to go on what you feel. You have to look from, both objective, subjective, and you have to ask where you want to be and how much you really want to invest in getting there. And I kind of think, I talk about it, but I'm not going to always sing and have to show always the benefits of it. I think you just need to be open-minded and give it a go. And that's why I invite people just to always just jump on a call with me and just invest 30 minutes of their week and just see, could coaching be right for them? And again, like sometimes I just said, we don't always have the answers. There's that part that actually, if they come away thinking, no, coaching isn't right for me at this moment in time, then surely that's 30 minutes to know something that's absolutely great. In terms of that it's not right for you at the moment, or no, it's not going to serve you, you do need mentoring, or actually some people need therapy. I'll never ever say to somebody you need therapy or counselling because they are looking into the past, where coaching again is forward facing. I will just say at this moment in time, I'm not sure coaching is right for you, and allow that, again, that the person there, the client, to really take that away and think about, okay, potentially they're right, this isn't right for me, what is right for me? And that's about being open and honest. And I think, again, that's key in the relationship that you have with somebody, where you build up that rapport at the start. So, I kind of touched on there, what if it isn't? We don't always have to know everything. And again, that's quite powerful in not knowing the answers. And again, I've said before that I'm really keen that these podcasts are kind of short and punchy, actually. They're not kind of long-winded, because I just don't think we have the time for it. I don't have the time to listen to 40-minute podcasts. I often actually just focus specifically on a few people that really inspire me. So people like Gary Vee, Mel Robbins. I've got a massive interest in Michelle Obama at the moment. Those people are the kind of my switch off, have a listen to them. So I'll be cooking, I'll just have a YouTube on in the background, and I'm listening to things, and I'm really conscious of your subconscious and what you take in as well. I find this really interesting, especially in the future. I'd love to do work on NLP a bit more. Again, I just know that for me at the moment in time, that would be overwhelming myself. It'd be too much. I'm very ambitious, I'm very driven, and I'm very inspired to take more action and learn more. But I also know that doing too much leads me to a point where I just get overwhelmed, and then I actually just become stagnant and don't move forward, which doesn't serve me. So I do hope that's offered a little bit around just kind of almost high level, what is coaching, what is mentoring, the slight differences. And I really make that clear to people that coaching isn't telling somebody. It is, if you are teaching, great, absolutely fine, but make that clear to somebody. That is what you're doing. Don't go and say I'm coaching and then not coach. So again, it's a huge thank you for spending your time with me. I am really, really grateful. I love hearing people that are reaching out to me at the moment to say thank you. That really helped. And, sharing things with others, it might not be that you've taken much away from it. But please don't see that always as a negative or a bad thing, or what did I get from it? What didn't I get from it? Just share it with somebody because it could be a benefit to them. Everybody's on a different journey. Everybody's in different stages of their lives, and we shouldn't be judgmental on others. So be sure to connect with me on Miss Natalie Potts on Instagram and on Facebook. I have my amazing group, which I'm building because it takes time to build a community of like-minded individuals. I don't accept just everybody onto the group because I want people that are going to treat it with respect, and that it's a community where it's vibrant and people are sharing things and they feel safe to do that. And that takes time. Everybody's hooked on, I've got 24 likes and all this people commented. I know myself working, being a mental health crisis volunteer, that I can't always measure that, how much I help somebody. And in some ways, a business aspect, I find that quite frustrating. In other ways, I kind of love the fact that I've had an impact on somebody and I just don't know it, or I might know it 6 months down the line. They ping me a message to say, what you said 6 months ago changed my life. Those are the moments, and those are those more tangible moments where I can say I've really helped somebody and know that and feel that. And I love that. So as a thank you, I didn't offer it in the mental health awareness week I did because I wanted that to just be the focus of mental health awareness. So I'm conscious this is my 4th podcast now. So as a thank you, I will be celebrating the launch of my Progressive Mindset podcast and offering one listener across the 5 episodes a free DISC profile test and 30-minute coaching call with myself. I touched on it slightly earlier around this is all around profiling and learning more about the personalities we are. I've got some great feedback from clients that have done it, and the best part about it is that it isn't just focused on their businesses. It's when they talk to me I went and discussed it with my partner. I went and showed my report and my personality profile, and we were joking about the fact that I'm this and I'm that, and I am that. That is me. So yeah, that's what I'm offering. So leave a review of the podcast. Sharing one action you'll take away would be even better if you can do that, because that's the purpose of stuff. Lots of people listen to podcasts feeling productive. It's often only productive, the same as watching anything online or reading a book, if we then go and take action. And that's a big thing I do with holding people accountable in coaching is, what have you actually done? What have you delivered? What is the difference that you've made? So as always, have a great day, have a great week, and thank you so much. Take care.